So you're running a successful online business, your hard work is paying off, but then you find yourself paying tons in taxes. We can be talking about 40%, 50%, 60% like in some countries. And what's the point of working so hard and then having all that money going away? It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. And there's a solution for that. It's called offshore banking. When I started my online business, I was lost. I was, what should I do? And I have banking in Spain. I just have euros. What do I do when I pay outside other people around the world? Had my moment, my wake-up call. And at that time I realized that the world is global and that when you start traveling, when you start doing international business, you need the proper setup in order to close deals, in order to receive money no matter where you are. For example, right now, we are here in Istanbul, Turkey. We have the Blue Mosque behind us. And here life is completely different from Spain, or from the United States, or from Japan, or from Latin America. But that doesn't mean that as a sovereign individual, like the members of our community, you can't continue doing business with other parts of the world. Parts where the banking do not share any kind of information. For example, when we had the call with Lawrence King, you can see the full podcast in the channel, he explained how he opened a bank account in Paraguay and how, when the UK called and said, "Oh, is Lawrence King here? Does he have an account? How much money does Lawrence have in your bank account?" They said, "Oh, sorry, we can't share that information with you. We have secrecy banking." And then they called Lawrence, and Lawrence was like, "Fantastic, I'm gonna be a client here forever." Because they protect the client. They allow him to receive all the money that he wants instead of worrying about, where does this $200 PayPal purchase to come from? And you might even be used to this kind of control from banks, from the United States, from Spain, from the UK, but does not have to be like this. For example, I paid for an Uber when I was in Brazil, and then Bank of America sent me an email and said, "We've frozen your card just in case was somebody stealing you." And it was a $4 transaction, a $4 Uber. So it does not have to be like that. I have, for example, other banks in Panama, offshore bank account, crypto friendly, no funds and funds, no issues with the credit card whatsoever, and makes my life easier. I can just pay as much money as I want. So if you checked other videos, you know that when you start your credit journey in the US, they give you secured cards with a $1,000 limit. But again, this is not all banking in the world. And in this video, I want to share this concept of banking. It's freer than you might think. You go to Panama, you open the bank account, they give you a credit card, and boom, you can have $15,000 limit, $25,000 limit, as much money as you want, because they are friendlier when it comes to banking. They are used to other laws, to other regulations. For example, Uruguay, Paraguay, the same. So having offshore bank accounts will unlock this freedom for you, for your personal life, for your business. You won't have to give as many explanations. And not just that, it's also extra protection for your assets. A bank that is not going to freeze your account, that is not going to seize your assets. Even if a government, like the UK government calls, like happened with Lawrence, they are going to protect you because their code, their laws, their ethics are above any government call. And another important structure that you need to consider for your life is having these offshore bank accounts on your LLCs, your holdings, or even your trusts. So when you have, as I explained in the ghost structure video, when you have a holding in Nevis or in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, these offshore bank accounts, these offshore jurisdictions, it's not just that they protect your assets, they protect your money, but also it's about secrecy. If you have bank accounts that are not tied at your personal name, then it's much more difficult to seize your assets, to even reach, to even know that these assets are yours, because it's behind 1, 2, or even 3 layers of protection. And this is what multimillionaires do to have peace of mind. And this is something that you don't need to wait until you are a multimillionaire to create these structures. You can start much sooner. Actually, it's much better to create these structures when you are under the radar. When you are not making that much money, let's say you're making just $100,000, $200,000, and you don't raise many alarms. Therefore, when you keep building more, when you keep growing, when you keep stacking cash, then you're going to have it in a robust and secure structure. And since the account will have been opened before, it's easy to then justify because it went gradually up, up, up. The only issue with this type of structures is that they don't have this global streamlined process. So for example, opening a bank account in Panama, it's much more difficult than to open a Wise account or a Stripe account or a US bank account. You require contacts most of the times to accelerate things instead of being the last one in a pile of papers that are applying for opening that bank account, or even through those contacts you can get exclusive perks. For example, an extra perk of having contacts is getting instantly a credit card right when you open the account, right away. So if they don't trust you, why will they give you a credit card? But if you come through a referral, if you come with somebody they trust, then it's much different. Also, some jurisdictions are very slow. Panama is another speed. The Caribbean, god damn it, it's another pace. So if you don't have people, for example, from the United States, from other countries that come with speed, with taking action, with let's go, go, go mentality that are running this business in there, and you work with the local, you're gonna get this massive difference between doing it yourself and taking 6 months to do something, or doing it with contacts and efficient and effective teams, and then you're gonna get things done in a matter of days, a few weeks, the same result or even better results. Also knowing the language, so if you don't speak Spanish, it's gonna be different experience than if you work with locals that speak the local language. Try open, for example, here in Turkey, a bank without speaking Turkish or without having the right contacts that speak English in these Turkish banks. The experience is completely different, and the same with Georgia, and the same with Gibraltar, and the same with all the countries that you might have considered opening an offshore bank account. For example, myself, I'm a geek on this world. I collect bank accounts. I have more than 22 bank accounts in over 10 countries, 8 currencies, and I'm not talking about this multi-currency. Yeah, I have 27 currencies in one bank, like Wise. No. I'm talking about local banks, each one with different currencies. And I diversified to this level because I want this, number one, extra layer of protection. Number two, peace of mind, knowing that if one account gets frozen for some reason, no problem. I can send a transfer right away. And as I explained in the other video here in Istanbul talking about offshore bank accounts, that can be the difference between missing an opportunity to do business or to record a podcast like the example that I gave if I didn't have that other bank account that could send the transfer right away in Turkish lira. And it's logical. The more you grow, the more complexity your life has, and your banking should match the rate in which you are growing and evolving. That's why myself, since 2019, I focused on creating this global network of people that not just help me personally open my bank accounts, but now I have these people, I have these service providers, but not just for my personal interest, but these people that became not just service providers, but friends now after all these years. Now my clients have the opportunity to work directly with them. So when you book a consultation with us, and if we are a good fit, then we'll talk about all these opportunities that we can open up for you. So you can tap into these offshore bank accounts fast, quickly, effortlessly, because we are going to support you. If you are interested in this, you can book the consultation with the link down below or scanning the QR code that is going to appear here. Other advantages of having offshore bank accounts is the multi-currency. We have different banks in different continents that are so happy to use crypto and that you use crypto. They even support you in using this crypto inside their own bank. So it's a myth that, oh, banking does not want crypto. Some banks, not all of them. There are so many more opportunities than you might even realize. And with the right contacts, with the right people next to you, everything is possible. I've said this time and time again in this channel, and I repeat it, with offshore banking it's exactly the same. So imagine how easy is your life when you have multiple bank accounts and you can send transfers from your phone. You can even have banks for your teammates. So you can give them just the access that you want to give them. So your funds are secure. You put limits in how much they can spend. You can even know when they are doing a transfer, and it appears on your phone. So you have track of absolutely everything, and you can remove yourself from low ROI activities like payroll. So banking, the right banking, is gonna help you grow because it's gonna give you more extra time. And this is something that took me years to understand, took me years to curate, to understand what bank is for what purpose. But when you have all this toolbox of banks, you use each one for the best scenario. Also, when you're doing business with a partner, with somebody, and you tell them, yes, no problem, I have multiple banks, this is an asset. Knowing that you can send or receive money anytime, especially when you are tapping into bigger leagues of business, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures. The partners, the people you are dealing with, they want to know that you are somebody who can implement with speed. So this is something that will attract more talent next to you. People will want to do business with you because they know that you are not going to delay payments, you are not going to have problems receiving payments, having cash flow to reinvest in the business to grow faster. So gentlemen, this video is to open your mind to the opportunities of offshore banking. More things can be done more efficiently, more effectively, without any stress, with total peace of mind. For example, right now I can be here with you, chilling, recording this video from the sun, sitting here in the turf, with the blue mosque behind me, doing some tourism here in Istanbul, besides doing some business with passport, real estate, residencies here in Turkey. And all this is possible because money is taken care of. I have freedom of time, freedom here in this mental space, this rent that I have in my mind. I don't need to put any hassle, any worry about money. It's taken care of with the right bank setup. So I encourage you to take the time to learn about this, to check other videos in my channel so you can create the best structure for you, because of course it's gonna have its nuances depending on your business activity, depending on what you want your lifestyle to look like, to be. However, if you want some help in this process, if instead of figuring out everything yourself or having to watch hundreds of hours of videos or going through all the mistakes that I did during all these years since 2019, well, you can book a consultation with our team. The first consultation is complimentary, just to see if we are a good fit, to learn more about you, and after that, to suggest you the best options for your case. So a couple options. Number one, book the consultation with our team down below, or watch the next video over here where you can learn more if you are still in the research phase. This is Miquel Gironès from Istanbul, Turkey. Be extraordinary. Deu, and find the other video over here.